Raise your hand if you were here and you took gains yesterday. Raise your hand if you were here yesterday and you took gains this morning and it took you nothing to do that except for but to show up to the stream. Congratulations to all the people. I believe it was like in between the stream yesterday and today, there was, I believe, 4 people that took the leap of faith, took action, and got into the Nordic Alpha private VIP trading room. Congratulations to every single one of those people, because those people that got in there yesterday, every single one of them, if they watched the TA and took the trades, paid for their membership. Guaranteed. I almost guarantee they could have paid for a year membership off of just taking those trades that we gave out yesterday inside of the Nordic Alpha private VIP trading room. If you're not in it, I have absolutely no idea what you're doing. It is the first link in the description. Get in there. It's $29 a month. It is less than $1 a day. If you can't make $30 off of the 4 trades that I gave out yesterday, that every single one of them hit, it's because you're not taking the trades, man. It's because you're not taking the trades. Let's talk about it. Let's get in there like swimwear. Bitcoin dumped. We called that out. S&P dumped. We called that out. Gold pumped. We called that out. Silver pumped. We called that out. 4 for 4. I'm going to show you the trades. Let's get in there. Like I said, like swimwear. But let me start my, where's it at? Get the little soundtrack going, baby. Get the little soundtrack going. Here's the problem. If you're not in the Nordic Alpha VIP trading room, you're looking like this guy.
Like, I'm feeling a little irked, or at least like irked adjacent, and then these guys bringing their bad vibes. Bro, I'm straight up not having a good time.
Not having a good time, bro. Not having a good time, bro. Let me turn the volume down on this bad boy. Why is it so loud? Is it loud for you guys, or is it just loud on my speakers? I'm gonna mute my speakers. This is crazy. Okay. So this is what we saw. This is what we saw. We called this out yesterday. I said, emergency meeting, everybody get on the stream. Get on the stream. Emergency meeting. This is about to happen. And it did. And it did. And say what you want. Say what you want about me. But one thing I can tell you is that I'm right 88% of the time. You can go and check this. It's all documented. All right? So when we call these things out and we say, like, yo, something's about to happen, man. The S&P's about to dump. Bitcoin's about to dump. Gold's about to pump. Silver's about to pump. We put our money where our mouth is. I actually go out on a limb and I say this, and I put the TA out there, and I put it on live, right? And we track all of my trades live. Like, pretty simple. So what happened, man? Well, we saw this massive, massive rising wedge pattern, right? Well, it broke down. It broke down yesterday. We're bouncing from the 200 moving average on the daily chart. And now if we close this candle under the close of anything under about 110.5, this is a confirmed breakdown of this charting pattern with a target of about $94,000, man. 94 thou wow, baby. Don't get mad at the messenger. Do not shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you what the technicals tell us, right? You can live in La La Land and you can, smoke opium and stuff like that. We're going to smoke Maduro cigars, not live in La La Land, and we're going to make money, and we're going to have an 88% winner. That's what we're going to do. So if you want to join in on that, feel free. You're in the right place, because I will give you the real deal, Holyfield. I'm not like these other influencers, okay? I promise you. The target on this could potentially be about $94,000. That is the measured move on it, okay? And when something like this hits on a daily time frame, and this is something that's been brewing for a year. This started brewing back in November/December-ish of 2024. This has been brewing, right? Now you're getting your breakdown. What does this mean? Okay, so I'm going to teach you what this means. This is a rising wedge pattern, okay? And what this is right here, this is your top level resistance, okay? As you can see, every time you hit it, you fade. Every time you hit it, you fade. Every time you hit it, you fade, right? And then this is your bottom level support. Whenever you come down to it, you hit it, you pump, right? You come back to the midpoint of it, you never came back and tested it. You front ran it here, you pump. You hit it here, you started losing momentum, you pumped up to the top, you rejected off of the top end. So this is your support line. This is your resistance line. This is upward sloping. That is downward leaning in terms of price action. If this was slanted downwards, right? Like this, that would be upward leaning. Why? Because the market can't just trend up forever, because what does it do? It goes to infinity, right? Market can't just trend downward forever, because why? Well, it just goes to $0, okay? So do you really believe that Bitcoin's going to infinity? Do you believe it's going to $0? Probably not. So there's called ebbs and flows, man. And whenever you squeeze in a pattern like this, sorry, that was a really bad, whenever you're starting to squeeze in a pattern like this, the likelihood of it breaking down becomes much higher, okay? Much higher. So now we have broken down. So there's two things that you can do. One, you can start shorting on the breakdown, which if you did that, great. You made big money, okay? You're already making big money right here. Let me show you. Is this it? Right here, right? Oh, hold on. Where's it at? Where's my trade, man? I just had it up. I promise you, I just had it up. Right here. There it is. Let's go down to the 1 hour chart. You'll see what I'm talking about. If you shorted that, you already knew what time it was, man. And if you were in the Nordic Alpha VIP trading room this morning, you saw this. I told everybody all about this. Okay? We rejected from the upward portion of this rising wedge, right? We got under it, we rejected, and then we started forming a descending triangle, which is a bearish pattern. And if that breaks down, our first target is 105.5, right? We're already halfway there, okay? So if you shorted this, right? If you shorted this on the breakdown, great, good for you. You already made money. Don't believe me? That's fine. I also told everybody on the S&P too. We come up here, I gave this trade out literally right here. And if you don't believe me, I will prove it to you. I love proving things to people. This is this morning. Let's see. What time did I post this? 10:09 a.m. What time is it? 2 p.m., okay? Do not be fooled. The S&P looks super weak here. Everything between 67.66 and 66.50 is just chopped. Might be about to continue its rollover. This entire market structure is inside of the previous dump, and this is not bullish momentum, okay? Here are the trades. Bang, there's your trade. As you can see, I gave the trade out exactly right there with the exact profit target. And what actually happened, Drew? Bang, the trade right there, full profit target. Just saying. If you're not in the VIP trading room, I don't know what you're doing. Also, I gave out this trade on gold earlier this morning, right? I gave out this trade. New high, bang, check. SFP, nope, check. So we didn't want to have an SFP on gold, right? No bearish divergence, check. Bounce from the previous highs. Bang, bang. Previous highs, bang, bang. Check and check, boom. Big, big money made on gold this morning. To anybody that joined Nordic Alpha, literally in between yesterday and today, congratulations for paying for your price of admission in literally one day. You can probably afford the entire year's membership, which is only like $280 if you buy it, a full year's membership, off of one day of being in there. Wild stuff, man. So to anybody that's not in there, I don't know what to tell you. You want something else too? 3 trades not enough for you? Sure, fine. We also gave this one out. Come up here, no SFP here, right? Back test of this bad boy right here. Micro ascending triangle and these previous highs. Bang, bang, already in profit. We'll see if this, goes. But, this one is not as far in profit yet, right? But I promise you, these are the things that we were talking about this morning. These are the things that we were talking about this morning, right? Just saying. Not saying, but I'm saying. There's your trade right there. There's your trade from the descending triangle that we were talking about. Boom, right here, right now. Just saying. Gave it out a couple hours before it actually hit, right? Gave the metals out. Just letting everybody know. If you want those actionable insights, this is where they're at. Boom. Got it. Bang, bang. Right there. There's your long, right? And then here's your silver long. Boom. Gave it out before it hit. I don't know what more anybody could want, right? In a trading community. 4 trades in one day if you entered the community just yesterday. That's insanity. That is insanity. Let's talk about where Bitcoin's going. The music's too loud? Cool. Let me turn it off. Bang. No more music. Oh, that's why. That's my bad, guys. Okay, so the music should be down much lower. That's my fault. Yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Yep, I can barely hear the music now. That's great. Sorry about that. Hopefully I'm loud enough that you just heard all of that stuff. I assume I was, because you're literally saying music is a bit loud. Yes, we hear you. Okay, cool. Music's too loud. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. That's my fault. In any case, let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's talk about where it's going, okay? So, as we kind of talked about yesterday, right? It was painful, but we heard it. Well, I'm glad you stuck through it, because looks like 56 people somehow stuck through all of that. So thank you, everybody on Twitter and everybody on YouTube, for sticking through that and those technical difficulties. I am not a streamer. I am not a YouTuber. I'm a horrible YouTuber. I'm a good trader, but would you rather have a good trader telling you what to do, or a good YouTuber telling you what to trade, right? So take the good with the bad. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how it goes. So Bitcoin, let's see what we got. We got the descending triangle breakdown, okay? Has it confirmed yet? It is yet to confirm, okay? So let's get this, give me this off of here. This candle right here, if it closes below this candle right here, that is a confirmed breakdown. If you did not get into the trade on the break, that is perfectly fine, because you weren't on the 5 friggin' minute chart watching it break down, right? That is perfectly fine, because what you will do is you will just wait for the back test of this 110,300 and some $110,500 level, and then you will enter your short there. Same exact short, same exact trade, right? But here's the caveat. If you get into this trade, okay, what is interesting that I don't think a lot of people are going to tell you, that are going to, you know, whatever, right, is once you get into this trade right here, let's take this descending triangle off of here. You still have the rising wedge breakdown. So you can average in all the way up to about 112,500, call it 113, right now, okay? So now, are you going to do that? I don't know. I don't necessarily think we're going to get this perfect back test. So you might just have to get in where you fit in, somewhere in here, right? So do whatever you want to do. But the one thing I can say is that if this rising wedge indeed is breaking down, your target is more down here at this long-term uptrend line. And we're going to go to the daily chart so I can show it to you. This long-term uptrend is all the way from literally October of 2023. That is your target to stay bullish. You must stay above $94,000 as it sits right now. As it sits right now, if we were to get down there today, anything above 91.7 is good. On Monday, anything above 92.2 is good. But if you're already in the trade on the descending triangle that we just showed you, right? This bad boy right here, this little descending triangle, and you're in that trade, just watch for the breakdown of these two charting patterns right here. First and foremost, the rising wedge, but this is going to be your confirmer, right? This is going to be your confirmation. This is your daily head and shoulders, okay? So if you get a breakdown under here, you're looking at 110 for the neckline. And if you get a breakdown and then a subsequent candle close after that, you could enter anywhere from the 200 moving average to 110. And then your stop loss is going to be up here around like 112, right? You're looking at a massive, massive potential move down. to about $96,000 just if that Head and Shoulders breaks down. Secondarily, that rising wedge takes you to the same friggin' place, man, even further down, all right? So the second thing that I want to alert people of is this, right? We also have the Head and Shoulders breakdown at the same exact point that we have this descending triangle, man. Like, you got to take this stuff into account. And I can tell you where it gets invalidated, but at this point, it's not getting invalidated. It's not going to, right? Is the music still too loud? Crypto mama? Is the music still too loud? I'll just turn the whole music off if it's still too loud. Just let me know in the comments section. We did hear your voice still. Okay, cool. Perfect. Okay, so as it sits right now, 110 to 110 to 111 is probably a pretty good range to think about shorting here, right? Now, if you break above 111, that's where you're gonna break out of the downward support, or that's not support, it's resistance, but you would flip that to support and then you could start thinking about longs. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm saying that this is where I would be kind of averaging in if I'm shorting, right? 110 to 111 is a pretty good indication. And once you go up above this swing high, right, that's kind of where you don't want to be in this anymore. Because from a market structure perspective, let's take all this stuff off of here. Let's do some market structure 101 really quick, right? You have your swing high, right? Then you have your swing low. Lower swing high, same swing low, right? Lower swing high, lower swing low, right? Same swing high, lower swing low. So if you break these highs right here, and let me get all this BS off of here. Once you break these highs right here at about 111.8, that's where you're starting to break market structure to the upside, potentially. I'm not saying you are. I'm saying you could be breaking market structure to start a leg up, and it could nullify all of those charting patterns. But in order to nullify the rising wedge, dude, you got to get above here. 113, and you got to get above that 200 moving average on the hourly chart. Bang. I mean, for this to not be bearish, you have to clear the $113,000 level here, right? Now, another thing that I really feel that I need to point out that not a lot of people talk about inside of these markets, and it needs to be talked about, okay? And the reason why it needs to be talked about, markets don't move by themselves, okay? Markets move in conjunction with other markets, okay? So let me give you the breakdown of that. Give me 1 second. You have to afford me my vices, right? You have to afford me my vices, which is the cigar. So look at gold. Gold is just in perfect market structure, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. You get it, right? It is just trending upwards, right? Silver, same thing. No swing failure patterns, higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. You get where I'm going with it, right? So silver and gold, which are safe haven assets, even though silver's more of an industrial metal, I totally understand that, they are trending upward. And then when you see dump outs like this in the S&P, you are going to see the same thing happening inside of crypto. Why? Because the S&P is a risk on asset. That is where people put their money when they are willing to risk it for the biscuit, okay? Crypto is even more of a risk on asset. That is when people are ready to risk it for multiple biscuits, a basket of biscuits, right? So when you see the S&P getting rejected, front running previous highs, swing failing them, getting rejections at previous all-time highs and super demand or super supply zones, and then selling off in ridiculous fashion, buying it back up the dip, and then parring those gains on the way up on the very next candles, bang, 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 losing all moving averages and levels that matter, you are going to see Bitcoin doing this. You are going to see Bitcoin doing this. Now, Bitcoin, if it cracks this low right here, this wick low from whenever Trump did the 10% or 100% China tariff business, dude, I promise you, it's more downside. So once you get below, you know, this 107 level on Coinbase, obviously we're not going to take Coinbase's word for it. We're going to come over here and we're going to go to Bybit. So Bybit is, we're way far away from that, right? But my point in saying this is that once you get under $101,000, dude, the market structure doesn't lie. It is breaking down. Now, could you argue that this is a falling wedge pattern? You absolutely could, right? A descending wedge, right? If you bring it from here to here, you absolutely could, right? So you have to take this into account. You also have to take this into account, but guess where the nullification and the breakout point on this falling wedge would be? You guessed it, $111,000. If we do not reclaim $111,000, my friends, boys and girls, men and women, non-binary people alike, if we do not reclaim that level, it is extremely bearish for Bitcoin and the overarching cryptocurrency markets. And the S&P will be one of the drivers that initiates this and makes this happen. I have said this multiple times on my streams. I made my mom and my wife, they both work regular jobs. Me, I stand in my backyard and scream at a computer, right? And smoke cigars in a black tee and a couple of gold chains, right? With some braids. That's what I do. I don't have a 401k, but they do. I told them right here to absolutely move every single dollar in their 401k into cash equivalent accounts. And what did they do? Exactly that. Why did I say that? Why would I do that on long-term portfolios? Because this is part of a larger correction and move down, my friends. You always get out at the highs and rebuy back at the lows. What are those lows potentially? I'll show you. They're way friggin' down here, man. And crypto, you have to pay attention to the S&P. I know you're probably like, dude, I don't care about the S&P. You need to, okay? Because if the S&P comes down here to the actual buy level, which is $6,150-ish, right? Somewhere around there, right? I'll show you. This is what is called a trend-based Fibonacci. We're going to take the 2016 parallel off of here. And we're going to take all these all-time high resistances off of here just to make this super simple and cut and dry. This was the previous all-time high, right? That we used as support after we hit a parabolic run. Bang, right? Previous all-time high. So what you do is you wait until you see what the low is that comes in after you print that previous all-time high, right? That's your first touch point. You get what is called a trend-based Fibonacci right here, okay? Right here, okay? And you take your first touch point, you draw it to the high, the next meaningful all-time high that gets a massive retracement, right? This is not a massive retracement. From here to here, not a massive enough retracement. This from here, from $6,100 to $4,800, yeah, that was like a 25% move down. That's like a 20% move down. That is a massive retracement. So you take it from the low to the high to the new subsequent swing low, and it gives you your Fibonacci levels. Your previous all-time high was 6150-ish on the S&P, right? This is futures. This is ES1, right? Does it surprise you that your 0.5 or your equilibrium price point is the $6,150 level, the previous all-time high? And look what happened last time. We set an all-time high. We hit a nice fade. We came up, we set a new all-time high. We hit a nice fade, and we used the previous all-time high as support. And then guess what we did? We set a new all-time high. If we get a nice fade, is it not logical to think that that might be a pretty key support level for you to start thinking about, maybe I get back into the stock market at this point, right? What was this fade? 26%. Okay, great. What was this fade? 22%, 4% less, right? What would this fade be? Only 9.5%. If you had the same type of fade, right, you would be coming down to right here, $5,500 on the S&P. This is where you can start thinking about nibbling and getting in. and see what happens. But this is where you can really start thinking about buying, right? Is at that $5,500 level and even potentially further more than that, right? Right here, this was a 41% pump. This was probably 100%, 76%, right? And then look at this one. 118% pump. So my point is that 118%, 75%, 40%, right? The pumps are getting less, okay? So the momentum is starting to go more towards the downside, and that is going to have an effect, whether you like it or not, on crypto. I am dropping sauce in this. Please pay attention to this. This is stuff that people charge you $10,000 in a friggin' master level trading course to learn, but I'm teaching it to you for free. Why? Because I'm actually in the markets. I don't make all my money off of courses. I can trade, as evidenced by my 88% win rate. The people that support me, you 77 people that are on this right here, right? 65 people on Twitter, a dozen people on YouTube. I care about you people. Why? Because you support me. It's not altruism, man. It's not altruism. I'm not saying, oh, I care about you because blah, blah, blah. No, I care about you because you care about me. You care enough to spend your time showing up and supporting me on this channel. So I'm gonna give you some sauce to help protect yourself, okay? So where are we going from here? Well, you gotta watch this swing low, but look where you're at right now, right? You're at the prior swing lows. Now we're gonna zoom out to the 4-hour chart and I'm gonna illustrate this even further for you, okay? Look at this. This is the type of shit that's gonna blow your mind, pardon my French. Previous all-time high, new all-time high, and swing failure pattern, right? Previous resistance 2 times, used as support 2 times, right? Then big pump, right? Then guess what? Used as support 2 more times right here, boom, right? Front ran as support right here, and now you're right back on top of it. You lose this level at 108, dude. It's going down, man. It's going down. And your first stop is going to be here. Well, your first stop isn't going to be there. It's going to be right here at 105.5, right? Your second stop is going to be about 102.5, I think it was. Your third stop is going to be right here at 101. And then your fourth stop is going to be right around that $98,000 range. And this is kind of your final line in the sand right here. 94,000, wow, baby. Why? Well, let me show you. We got to go back to the other chart. My bad. That's why. Because of the 2016 parallel or whatever, or not the 2016 one, sorry. This is the one that's been established since December or October of 2023. 2-year-long uptrend, right? You have to hold this line if you want to continue going up. If you don't, you're probably coming down here to about $74,000 right here at the previous all-time high where we used it as support. Eerily similar to the analysis that we're doing on the S&P, right? Eerily similar, right? Isn't that wild how these markets line up? All I'm saying. I've been in the market 10 years, man. I know how this shit moves. I know how these assets kind of like correlate to each other. There's a reason why Verified Investing brought me in and made me a pro trader and their commodities and metals expert. There's a reason. And it's because I understand the markets from a fundamental perspective. I'm not just some internet day trader douchebag dude. It's like, you know, like, no, we actually can do this in real life and not just talk about it on the internet, right? I do talk about it on the internet to you sparingly. But, you know, if you want to be here for the sauce, then be here for the sauce. I appreciate you for showing up. Now, look at that S&P trade right now. Doesn't even matter if you took your profits on this wick, because now you can take your profits on that wick. Actually, hold on. I need to get into the Discord. If you didn't get the full TP on the wick 2 hours ago, you are getting full TP on that position right now. Take profits, leave a runner if you please for a further move down. Bang. All right. All right. You got to tell the people, man. You got to let them know. These people are paying to be in here. They appreciate the analysis. I got to let them know, man. I got to let them know. Look, you're at it right now. Bang, 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 bang. Shooter. Right? If you like Happy Gilmore, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, go watch Happy Gilmore. I don't know what to tell you. Sip some Starbies, man. Today's a good day. You're making money. Especially if you were here yesterday. And I hope to God, if you're here today, you were here yesterday, and anybody that's on Twitter, I hope that you hit that follow button or did hit that follow button, and that's why you're here today, because you just took 4 gains just by showing up and watching me, right? So let's keep the games train running, and let's do our Thug Fizzy. Does anybody have anything? Drop it in the comments section that you want me to do TA on right now. I'll stay on here for a little bit longer. Hard stop in 12 minutes. I don't know. If you want me to do TA on anything, drop it in the comment section. I will take some requests, okay? I will take some requests. But seriously, I mean, I cannot stress this enough. Get into this private VIP trading room. Dude, it is the least expensive it will ever be. So if you ever think that you are going to get in here for $29, less than $1 a day, you're getting every single trade, every single day. Get into the VIP trading room. If you would have just gotten in there yesterday, you would have gone 4 for 4 in less than 24 hours. Less than 24 hours. And I can actually show you. These people right here. These absolute legends, right? This guy right here, Anthony Nunez. This guy right here, Chris. All of these guys, these people came in literally yesterday from the stream, right? And within one day, they got all those trades in these channels. Bang, bang, right down here. Crypto TA, metals TA, equities TA, right? Not to mention everything that my buddy John does in here too from scalps. And I guarantee you, if they took any of those trades, they had to have made 30 bucks at least to pay for their membership. They probably made more like 300 bucks. So let's see if anybody's got, okay, we've got AVAX. Let's check out AVAX. We're going to star that. So I don't know how often you show up to my streams or whatever, but we gave out this cup and handy a while back, right? Little something light, just hit the full take profit target, no big deal, right? Bang. No big deal, right? So that hit, no problem. Let's see. This one, no, we're not quite getting down there yet. We blasted through it. There's nothing to take there, and you used it as resistance. Look at that. That is just pure filth. Just pure filth. Let's see what we got. Look at how that long would have played out for you, dog. Good God. Good God. Ugh. Right? Woo! That's nice. Okay. Yeah, we've done some TA on AVAX if you can't decipher that, right? Let's go and see what we're still in a downward descending triangle, unfortunately. right? We are still in this massive descending triangle. We break below $15.60. It's not good news for AVAX, okay? You break below $15.16, not good news. Dang. Let's get this cup and handle off of here. We don't need that anymore. We're gonna save these into a group. One day descending triangle. Okay, so where is AVAX saved? Okay, well, you gotta clear this. You basically gotta clear these swing highs, and hopefully you do it by year end, right? At $38.14, okay? So here's my point. You break those swing highs, right? You're now longing up to about 80 bucks, something like that. Maybe a little less, probably 75 bucks. 75% of the measured move, right? That's only if this thing, like these things play out to the downside though. This is only the target if you actually break above here, right? So just be careful with that. Now, here's the other thing. You break down here, this is extremely bad news, right? This is extremely bad news. And you're probably gonna be bringing it down to about, I don't know, 8 bucks or so. Your first level is gonna be right here, right? First level is gonna be $10.90. Second level is gonna be $8.15. You'd be setting your stop loss. We have to zoom in for this because this is very, very small. This is very, very small. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, I mean, you could set your stop loss above like 17 bucks on this, above this wick, essentially, and bang, you're bringing it down here. Your ultimate target is right here at $8. We do not want to see that happen. What we would like to see is a bounce, right? What we would like to see is a bounce here, and then we come up here and we start taking out these highs. That's what we would like to see, right? So what's this, 10.16 long? Bottom. And we would like to see a bullish divergence down there as well as a swing failure pattern of these lows. What do I mean by that? You would like to see a candle close here, but the wick go under here, tag this, enter long, and set a lower low on price, but a higher low on RSI, right? Which could very easily happen, right? Could very easily happen because look how far down your low was here. So say your RSI kind of just bang, that would be a bullish divergence, right? As you can see, higher lows on RSI, lower lows on price, bing, bang, boom. You kind of see where I'm going with it. Those would be the parameters for me to want to long down here. And then obviously you have your shorts right here, which is descending triangle breakdown, right? Did it seriously not type any of that? Come on now. 10.16 short DESC try break down. Okay, cool. Does anybody else have anything else that they want me to look at? I got a few more minutes. We can look at it. And then long, this is 10.16 long descending triangle nullified back test new swing highs, right? So bang, that's what we're looking at right now. Okay, we'll see if it happens. We will see if it happens. I know we looked at XRP yesterday, and I believe Solana. Yeah, here's XRP. There we go. There we go. Bang. Come up to the 0.618. Obviously, we didn't get this trade, right? Because we were saying, look, if you come up here and you bearishly back test this, you would enter short. But yeah. So, whoop. What just happened? Okay. I mean, XRP is the same thing, man. XRP is the same thing. You break this prior, like, little swing point right here, you're going to be looking at, give me this. That is a long. We do not want to long there, okay? We do not want to long there. We want to short, Bang. And we're trying to write it down to the $2 level, which is the level that you absolutely have to uphold in order to remain bullish on XRP, okay? So this is 10.16. Fib loss, okay? Do we have the descending triangle? Do we have a short on that? Look at these shorts, man. Look at those shorts, man. Good God. Good God. Get this off here. Let's get this off here. Boom. Big short. Big short. Took it all the way down to the profit level. Way over here. Okay. Yeah, descending triangle. You're still in it. You've broken down from it. That's why you got this big ass move down. As it sits right now, I mean, XRP is still super bearish. You really have to get back above $3, man. You got to get back above $3 to be bullish on XRP as it sits right now. Let's look at Solana, because XRP, the analysis is still the exact same as it was from yesterday. You're getting close to your level down there, right? You came up, you front ran the back test on this. Nothing you can do about that, right? And again, you still haven't gotten above that. You've got a one-day rising wedge here that you just broke down from. Bang. I mean, this is bearish territory, man. This is super bearish territory. You got the full measured move on this for real. You bounced from the 200 moving average. Really, you just got to take out $212 to start thinking about being bullish. You gotta not swing past this swing point of 173. You got to set a higher low here. Once you get back above 211, 212, you're looking a little bit more bullish on on Solana right now. From a market structure perspective, it's kind of in no man's land, but I will say, you know, it's looking a little bit head and shouldery, bang, 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 right? But I mean, for all intents and purposes, you really need to take this out and take out this 0.618 fib, because my guess is even if you take this out, you're going to get a fake out. You're going to get a shortable opportunity right here at about 219-ish, right? And I can show you with a trend line better than I can tell you, right? Give me 1 second. You're also going to run into resistance here at 227, right? But look at this one. See that intersection point? That's in like 10 days, right? And it's right at the 0.618. So I'm actually going to go out on a limb here. And I'm going to say, you get back up here, baby. You're shorting. Okay? I would also like to see a bearish divergence up there from this high to this high, right? I would like to see a bearish divergence, then you can take that trade. Does anybody else have any other ones that they want me to look at? We can probably squeeze out another 15 minutes if we need to on this. But again, if you want all the sauce to take this trade right here that just absolutely murdered it, you saw it live, me telling everybody, hey, full take profit target. Now we've taken out the swing low. Dude, if you want this sauce, seriously, get in here, man. Get in here. It is the Nordic Alpha Private VIP Trading Room. It is less than $1 a day. And I swear to God, if you take one trade, you might pay for your whole month's membership. $29. How can you not make $29 on that trade right here alone, right? Or this trade right here that we gave out, literally live, right? Or this trade right here. Where's it at? Bang. That's not it. Damn it, man. I always lose this trade. Dude. Hey. Is it right here? No, it's in the descending triangle. Good God. Okay. We're just going to put hit, and we're going to put this down here now. Okay? How do you not make money on this? How do you not make money on this? I don't know. How do you not make money on the silver long that I gave out? I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But, yeah, I mean, is the cycle over? Well, let's zoom out, show you. I kind of alluded to this a little bit earlier, but the cycle's over once you get under this $94,000 point. I think the cycle's over once you reach and lose this point right here, which is this massive trend line from way back here, right? October of 2023. I think that means the cycle's over, and you're probably coming down here to about $74,000 to maybe $80,000 on Bitcoin. That's where you can start thinking about picking up some seriously big long positions, right? I think gold will peak at $4,360. Thoughts? Waiting for that level to enter short. So I have a differing opinion on gold. Okay, Probic, I have to urge you to watch the Golden Nugget every single Wednesday that I have on this channel. You can go to my lives, or you can go to my playlist, and you'll see every single Golden Nugget I've ever done. There are fundamental factors playing in the background that I think help prop gold up and like bolster a serious floor on gold. One of those being the central banks are buying gold in troves right now. And again, like the reason why, one of the big reasons why I have an 88% win rate right now is because we've been trading gold and silver for the past year, just absolutely killing it. Whether it was going up, down, sideways, whatever, we kill it. So I'm very, very familiar with the gold market. And from a fundamental level, your next resistance is actually 4,921 bucks, way up here at the 3.618 Fibonacci level. I mean, if you're waiting to enter at 4,360 for like a potential short to then enter long, okay, I kind of understand what you're saying. But there's a floor here that I'm seeing on gold, and I'll show you. So it's going to be hard to get below $4,000 again. But even if we do, getting below 3,657 is going to be extremely difficult, right? And there's a reason for that. That's going to be, by the time you get down there, that's going to be where your parallel is intersecting that 2.236. And your parallel, and this is a parabolic parallel from like very, very far back. We're talking last almost 2 years ago, right? Look at this parallel. We've broken outside of it, right? Now, what you can do is you can get on this fib, right? And you can double click it and you can say this, right? So here we go. Let's say, okay, we're above what, the 2.618 level. So let's call it the 3.0 level, okay? Then we've got the 3.236. Then we've got the 3.382. $3.5. Oh wait, no, that's my bad. It's 2. And then the 3.618 is all the way up here, right? So here's your 3.0 level, right? You've already gotten above, let's call it what it is, right? The 2.786, you've already gotten above and claimed that level, right? So you're going to have serious support here at 4,160. You're going to have massive support at 4,000. You're going to have like ultimate level support here at $3,657, right? So this is a trend-based Fibonacci level, by the way, pulled from the low, or from the low after the previous bull run to the high of the next bull run to the subsequent low that came after that, right? So this is your 3.0 level, 43.60, right? So if that's what you're talking about, could you catch a fade there and then ride it back right down here to the 41.60 level or even the 4K level and then catch a bounce? Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. But I don't think that I don't think $4,360 is where the actual market ends, okay? So I think just having some context behind what it is that your goal is and like what you're saying, if your goal is to just find a short-term pullback to then enter longs to continue this bull run up, great, totally understandable. It's going to be hard to get back under 36.57, in my opinion. So if you're saying it's going to peak at 43.60, maybe short-term micro peak, but macro peak, I think this thing continues to run into 2026. And it's probably not going to stop until it hits 5K. Now, can you get micro pullbacks? Absolutely. And that's exactly what a real good, like a healthy market should do. Leg up, leg down. I also think that you're going to see this massive supply crunch on silver that we're already seeing, right? With London running out of silver because people are taking physical delivery of it, and silver's going to continue to go up. And whenever silver and gold are going up, that's usually bad for the S&P and risk on assets like Bitcoin, right? So that's my caution. I throw caution to the wind, right? For anybody that is longing risk on assets like the S&P and like Bitcoin right now. And the reason being is what you just saw, right? The reason being is what is on the thumbnail of this video, right? You have a massive, massive bearish charting pattern that, for lack of a better word, when it breaks down, it shits the bed, man. And it's playing out real time in front of our eyes right now. And if we take it into account, as soon as we close this candle under the low of this candle, which means as long as we close under 110,671 bucks, this is a confirmed breakdown. You wait for a back test. Do you get the back test? I think 110 to 111 is going to be your back test and then your shorting opportunity. So what does everybody else have? What does everybody else have? Raise your hand if you took any gains from the stream yesterday, right? Make sure you hit like on this video. If you're watching on Twitter, just subscribe, or don't subscribe, but you know what I'm saying. Hit the follow button because we're dropping sauce like this all the time, and I don't have a set schedule. I do this whenever I see is the best time to do it, right? I don't have a set schedule. I have a life. I have a family. I have kids. I have businesses, and I trade. So, like, is streaming going to take precedent over that? Absolutely not. But I will stream as I can, right? And whenever I do, make sure you're getting the notifications on that, dude. On Twitter, follow and hit the notifications button. On YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe and then boom, baby, bang on that notification bell. Comment whatever you want in the relevant sections below as well. But make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you're sharing it around to people because I think people are sleeping on this analysis, man. I truly do. And I want it to reach as many people as possible, to help as many people as possible because, dude, it took me 10 years to get here. And I had to do it the hard way, man. I had to do it by losing money and learning it by myself. That was before I started this back in 2014, started trading. That was before YouTube was a big thing and before there were any finance gurus out there like that, dude. So if I can help people shorten or tighten, you know, their learning curve, more power to us, right? So with that being said, man, I appreciate everybody for showing up. Again, make sure you get into the private VIP trading room. Seriously, it is the least expensive it will ever be. $29 a month. You literally take one trade and you're probably going to be able to pay for your membership. No problem. For like the year, potentially, depending on what size your account is. I can't guarantee you that. You got to take the trades, man. But what I will tell you is that I line the trades up. I give you every single parameter as it is supposed to hit. And if those parameters don't hit, you don't take the trade. But if the parameters hit, you take the trade. I keep you updated in real time, the majority of the time. And you've got your take profit targets, you've got your stop loss targets, you've got your entry targets and criteria. And then you just get in there and you kill it. And you take advantage of one of the only people in the market with an 89% documented public win rate that is giving trades out to people. Okay? So I will see you all soon. First link in the description. Go get into that private VIP trading room. And if you want to take it a step further and actually learn from somebody that is doing this in real life, go get my blueprint and foundation training. I will see you all soon. Peace.